All right, what's going on, guys? Try back again here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today with Fear the Walking Dead. In this one, we're going to do some death predictions for this half and give our thoughts on whether or not we think they may actually kill Morgan off. Alright, and spoiler warning, if you were not caught up for Fear the Walking Dead, I definitely want to do another Q&A video with you guys today after what was a great episode of Fear on Sunday with episode 4 of season 5. So this one, I'll put the link in the description to give him all the credit for Forbes. Paul Tassi wrote up an article which I think is pretty cool, and he says, Fear the Walking Dead needs to kill one veteran character to save itself, and he wants them to kill Morgan off. So I do not share the same... I don't want to see them kill Morgan off. That's not what I want to see. I want to see Morgan continue for many years to come in Fear the Walking Dead or in the Walking Dead universe because he's one of the original, OG Walking Dead characters. It would be a huge character death. But there was the one part where he looks into the door in one of the first episodes of the season. It was episode 2 or something like that, and he sees kind of his reflection as the zombies are kind of clawing at him. He lost his staff earlier. The lady took it and has been kind of using some kind of whatever it is, a yard hoe or something, one of those kind of tools, since then to kind of continue with. So personally, I'd like to see Morgan continue on forward, and I would not like to see him be killed off at all. Here's what he says in the article. Tonight's Fear the Walking Dead marks the last screener I've seen so far, an episode that I don't like quite as much as last week's Humbug Gulch, and continues my general sense of being pretty ho-hum about this season. I don't hate it like I did season 4, but I certainly don't love it like I did season 3. I think it's time for Fear to start shaking things up, and to do so, we need to rely on an old Walking Dead trope, the shocking death of a major character. So he thinks that that's what they're kind of... Maybe he's thinking that, or he kind of thinks they should do that. Fear has done this the wrong way for a long time now, killing off literally every member of the core family of the show except Alycia. That's then he lists off everybody who we know who that is. Meanwhile, it's time to pull that trick again. Not for Alycia, God no, not Alycia. I just had her as my lead image to throw you off. so then basically goes into that he thinks it should be Morgan who's killed off in the show. It's kind of tricky for me with this one. It depends. I mean, they had a huge character death last season with Madison and Fear the Walking Dead. This season, it looks like, based on how many viewership and how many people are actually watching Fear, it's kind of doing okay. I want to say it's still around like half of what The Walking Dead usually is, which is about probably as good as they're probably ever going to do with Fear, even if they give a lot of characters to it and everything like that. I think Morgan. So he kind of wants to see Morgan be killed off here. It sounds like from what he's writing, or he thinks that might be what they do. It's just a weird scene when he sees himself in the reflection of that door, the storm door, and kind of sees it back as they're kind of going, man, I don't want to see them kill off Morgan. I really don't, because Morgan isn't just going to wander off again, so it seems like the only way out for him is to die. If the show can sacrifice Madison, it can certainly sacrifice Morgan, who is a much less valuable character than she was, and one that is doing active harm to the series. So the problem, of course, is not literally Morgan or Lenny James, who is a great actor, but with the writers and showrunners who are choosing to make things play out this way. But I don't have faith they can make Morgan interesting or useful again, so it feels like the correct move to kill him. Clearly someone in the main group is going to die this season, as this is a Walking Dead show we're talking about, but it should not be Strand, Alycia, John, Daniel, Al, Charlie, or Lucy, June, and the Trucker siblings I could take or leave, and definitely not Dwight, who just got here. It's time for Morgan to move on. The Walking Dead has not understood what to do with him for years now, as evidenced by his exile to Fear. And now that he's here, he's only making things worse. It's time. It's strange, though, too. If you think about it, the time that Morgan left, actually, there was a lot of things kind of in play at that time. And I don't think they knew 100% beforehand that Rick was going to be leaving, too, in Season 9. So they had Morgan cross over when they kind of had everything set up here after All Out War in Season 8. Then he crosses into Fear. And then the original Walking Dead series lost a whole bunch of important people. Rick, Maggie, and then, of course, there was the death of Carl, which was around there, too, in Season 8. And then next year. Michonne's going to be leaving. So it actually would be kind of cool if Morgan was still in the original Walking Dead series. But, they gave him to Fear. We get more time with him. We get to see even more for Morgan. So you guys know I'm 100% behind this. I'd like to see Morgan survive and see him continue on for years to come in Fear. But it is true that somebody has to be killed off, and they have to do some. And with the Walking Dead TV series and the way they've kind of gone, it actually has done. Now, it's an awkward time to say this because of the way the comics have gone recently with killing off some huge characters, which I won't spoil here. But the TV series almost, if you look at the original Walking Dead series, it's almost like, man, and Fear the Walking Dead as well, too. They have not shorted on killing off certain characters. Like each season, there's at least, I want to say, there's very few seasons of The Walking Dead or Fear that don't have some kind of huge character death in them. If you look at Fear from the first season, you have several in the first season with Liza and some of the others, and then the second season as well too in Fear. Who dies in the second season? Well, actually, maybe that one's a little bit not that much. Well, there was Travis around there too, season 3. Right? Travis and Madison, season 4, and now we're in season 5. So almost every season of each series, there are, huge character deaths all the way through. And that seems to be something for The Walking Dead they don't usually relax on. There's only like a few times where, season 2 of Fear was Chris, right? That was Chris in the end of the season. So he was a big character at the start and the way things got going. So both series, Fear the Walking Dead, the original Walking Dead, have never, they pretty much every year, season 8 was Carl, so it's not like they've had too many years where they've just kind of relaxed with the character deaths and not had that many. It feels like there's always kind of an A or B list character death in basically every season, and it almost feels like sometimes it's hard for them to keep up with building new ones. I think Fear is feeling pretty full right now, though, with all the characters they've added on, Alycia and some of the others, the new characters, so it's pretty good. So for me, I don't want to see Morgan at all. I really hope they weren't foreshadowing Morgan's death, but you never know with Lenny James because, he's had a couple years now additional of Fear. He had a good number of years in the original Walking Dead series. So if they decide that that's what they're going to do, then I guess okay. It's just kind of unfortunate. If that's what they decide to do. But I do have to agree with him here about one thing, that I do think probably Alycia is probably the most important character in Fear because she was in it originally. Morgan's a crossover character. Dwight's a crossover character. So now that they've crossed over, it's kind of like they weren't originally from there. So she's been a mainstay of Fear the Walking Dead. She's probably like the last character you should kill off in the whole show, right? It shouldn't be until the show is like just about to end, and you may even want to consider having her cross back over if the show ends, having her cross over to the original Walking Dead series or movies or something like this. Like you may, unless Alycia Deadman Carey decides she doesn't want to do it anymore at all, she's probably the last character you would probably want to kill off in Fear the Walking Dead. I don't think you'd want to do that. Morgan, for me, might be second, but I guess not everybody is a fan of Morgan, too, right? Everybody likes clear mode Morgan, but not everybody likes peaceful. Life is a circle Morgan, right? So I don't know, man. I really hope that's not what they're doing. I don't think it is. But at the same time, they did do Madison last year, and that was such a shocker. Like, that was unbelievable. So I guess after they did that, and then Travis before that, and some of the others, it wouldn't really surprise. And Nick, right? There's another huge one too. It really wouldn't surprise me that much if they did do Morgan. I hope that's not what they were foreshadowing with the door scene, and I hope that's not what we see because he's been in the series for so long. But maybe if Lenny James decides that he doesn't really want to do it, or he wants to go work on other shows or other movies and stuff like that, then I can understand. I hope that's not the case, because it's good to have him in Fear, and it adds to it. Yeah, I think it's good for Fear that he's there, because then if people are channel surfing and they see him there in some of the scenes, they're going to think, okay, it's Walking Dead. I'm going to watch it, say Fear the Walking Dead. Okay, I'm not sure, but there's Morgan. I want to see Morgan because I remember him from the original Walking Dead. So there's that kind of tie-in and value there. But for characters that will probably be killed off, I'll go this season with I think June will probably be, and I could be wrong there. I think that Sarah and Wendell probably will be. And then the others, it's a big question. I don't think they kill off Strand. I don't think they kill off, maybe, there's Charlie there too, right? So she's a good question. They might, I guess they could, but she's kind of young, so that kind of helps, I think, defend against it a little bit. And, a lot of the others, too. Alycia got injured. They kind of faked us out with her. So I tend to think that they'll probably have her alive for a while now because they kind of faked it, maybe next year or something. And, yeah, I guess we'll have to see. But you guys can certainly leave your comments below. Which characters do you think will be killed off this season in Fear the Walking Dead, both in this first half and in the second half? And ultimately, do you think that Morgan will be killed off? Would you want to see that? Or would you want to see Morgan survive on further? And who is the character you think that they definitely should not kill? Is it Alycia for everybody, or John, or somebody else like that has a lot of charisma and a lot of people like, or Dwight, since he did just get there, as Paul said here in the Forbes article. And we'll do a couple questions for today from the from you guys, just to give our kind of thoughts on them. Dwighty Boy 83 says, I'm starting to think they're about to commit to a massive remix, and Commonwealth will be more of a movie storyline and not the TV show. You got to give your thoughts on the cool theory that Alycia, Dwight, and Morgan were the voices on the radio that Jadis heard right after Rick blew the bridge. It's a massive stretch, I know, but man, that'd be cool. I don't think so, because Alycia, the sound of the voice doesn't sound like any of them to me. Also, Morgan and Dwight know about Alexandria, so it's not something that they're pretty far away from that too. I would think they should be way out of range. And if they did go there, I would think that they would intentionally, maybe not Dwight, but Morgan would intentionally want to go there. However, if Morgan was killed off this year or next year, then they wouldn't, crossing back from Fear into the original Walking Dead would be sort of something that it wouldn't have that tie-in to have everybody go back there, because Morgan would have died in the process, so it wouldn't make sense at that point. And Dwight wouldn't really want to go back there or show them the place anyway. So that's what I would think. So at least that's kind of where I'm at with that one. But it does look like they're remixing the Commonwealth a lot, and it does look like they're making them kind of villains to me, at least part of them. Unless the helicopter group is not the Commonwealth, I just think the Borromene rings, are like a perfect symbol you would choose for the Commonwealth. I mean, the way all the rings intersect, like different communities intersecting with each other and trading and that kind of stuff, it just fits for Commonwealth so perfectly that. And the soldier suits as well, too, that I can't help but think like maybe they're doing a remixed evil version of the Commonwealth, or at least at the beginning they're villains or something. Dylan Schneider says, still never got an explanation on the A and B thing from Jadis and the helicopter group, hoping they explain it in the movies. Well, they might explain it a little bit more in this episode 5 of Fear. This one is directed, I think I saw, by Sarah Wayne Callies, who played Laurie in the original Walking Dead. So there's that, so I hope that doesn't destroy the episode for you, since everybody hated Laurie. But we got to give it a chance. We can't hate the actress just because everybody hated the character. She was a good villain, I would say, or part of the group that people just really didn't like because of Shane and Rick and the whole thing. But as far as the explanation for the A and the B thing, I think it's for test subjects. We'll have to see what the A and the B refer to exactly, whether it's somebody who's been bitten or alive. Maybe that's what it is. Someone who's just been bitten, fresh bitten, or for testing, or somebody who's just alive and totally fine. Because we get the sense that the girl who takes down Alycia, tases her and knows that she's not a walker or anything. She's perfectly fine. Just tases her and looks like she's going to take her. So, which would be a villainous type of thing to do, to capture somebody against their will and take them for testing or something. So, we'll have to see how they explain the whole thing through, and I'm looking forward to in episode 5 getting some more details about it. So then Lamel KH2 said, I feel so alone without the alright at the beginning. So sorry if I missed it once or twice. It's a staple of the channel now. We got to do it every time. So I'm Joker28 says, when they mentioned movie night, I was thinking, because the last movie night in the Walking Dead universe went so well. So that was in the prior episode 3, right, with the kids and the movies and stuff like that. That's true. Yeah, the prior movie night in the Walking Dead did go really well in season 9, right, with Alpha and showing a movie. So that's funny. Nice catch there from I'm Joker. He put some funny comments there. So that's basically it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'll put a poll up here and see what you think about the possibility of them killing Morgan off. Would you want to see that? Do you think they will do that, or is it just, were they going for something else with the reflection there and everything? Which characters do you think will be killed off this year in Fear the Walking Dead, or are you more kind of saying like they've done enough character deaths for a while? Time to slow it down for a while. But that doesn't really feel like The Walking Dead. If anything, it's almost like the original Walking Dead series killed off too many people. It's not like it's almost it's like if it's a spectrum, they killed off too many rather than not enough. They killed off a lot of characters like every year, big deaths all the time. Every half and that kind of thing. I guess it's part of what kept it honest to a zombie apocalypse and exciting. But sometimes you just want to see them hold back for a little while. It's like, okay, no major character deaths this season. Let Morgan survive. Let Alycia survive. Let some of the others survive, Strand and the others, and wait until next year at least. Anyway, let me know what you think. If you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite, and if you're new and you want to subscribe, bottom left to subscribe. That's it for this one. So you guys get soon for another video. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.